Hey everybody, Mike coming at you from the Focus Garage here, and we are in the interior of the GTI doing a little shift paddle upgrade here. I just want to walk you guys through the steps of how easy this is to totally transform the way your steering wheel looks and feels here if you have a DSG equipped car. So I've actually gone ahead and taken one of the paddles off already. I started on the right hand paddle, which would be your upshifting paddle. So I turn the wheel to the left very easily here, and you're going to want to go at it from the bottom here. So on the bottom of it, which would be obviously the bottom of the paddle, there's only one pin that holds it to the wheel. It's literally just a simple rope in here, and you just need a nice pair of needle nose pliers to go ahead and grab it to pull it out. There's a little notch on the bottom here that you'll see, and that's what you'll grip with these pliers. So make sure that you've got longer ones, and with the teeth on them there, it'll make it a lot easier to go ahead and reach in there and grab it. Here's what the stock paddle looks like. There's what the aftermarket replacement one looks like. I will have the link to what I purchased in the description down below. But that's it. It's very easy. There's not much room in between where you're going here to grab that pin. As you can see here, sorry, let me get that study for you. As you can see in here is the back of the steering wheel, and that's the hole right there that you're looking at. So you do kind of want to squeeze up in between the wheel there to get to it, and then you'll just pull it out. There's a pin on each side. Make sure you pay close attention to the orientation of the pin when you pull it out to make sure you're putting it back in the right way. And then when you are replacing the paddle on the steering wheel, again, you're going to work from the bottom of whichever paddle you're working at, whether it's the right hand paddle or the left hand paddle. Turn the wheel in the respective way to make sure you're pulling that pin out the right way. And then obviously you're going to put the new paddle in by kind of sliding it into the slot here first. So kind of wiggle in, you know, the part of it that's closest to the leather, and then line everything up before you go ahead and you pop that pin back in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the new paddle on, and we'll show you kind of what the new one looks like compared to the factory one once it's on the wheel. All right, so here's what we're working with here. Let me focus in on the wheel for you. We've got the factory paddle on the left here and the replacement paddle on the right here. Now, one thing that I like about these right off the bat is that this is the matte black texture, so it kind of matches your wiper stock and your turn signal stock, but the build quality and the fit and finish is incredible on this piece here. There's really no wiggle with it. It's nice to the wheel, and it still has that same clicking kind of feeling that you'd get with the stock paddle. It's obviously a lot bigger. It kind of protrudes below the column here and above it, whereas the stock one is very small, very low key. And then these aftermarket paddles that I went with still have the kind of little ribbed texture on the back of it, so you can go ahead and flap it by that, or, you know, above or below, you've got that leverage that'll work with it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the left hand side paddle here, and I'll show you what we're looking at when we're done. So here's what you're looking at with the new paddles installed on the wheel here. As you can see, obviously they go below and above here, and kind of zooming in a little bit more closely here, they match the texture of the interior pretty nicely here with that black finish. I do like that they do not rattle up and down really much at all. They have a nice click feeling with them when you go ahead and you tap them. Very similar to stock. Nothing really feels much different there with that. And I just think they really kind of look nice in the interior of the car here. They're nothing too extreme. I didn't want to go for a crazy color or anything like that. I didn't want to go for any kind of crazy design or anything. I just wanted a nice paddle that, you know, fit very similar to the stock dimension, and that worked very similar to the way the stock paddles work. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. A very simple video on a very simple part to install. The biggest thing is that I've learned is just install them from obviously the bottom. That's going to be how you access the pin there, and then just make sure that you put the pin back in the same orientation that you take it out. Put the leather side of the paddle into the housing first there, and then that's it. This is very easy as long as you've got the right type of needle nose pliers to go ahead and take the pin out and put it back in, the kind with the metal corrugated teeth there that I was speaking of earlier. You'll be good to go. That's really all it takes to remove these paddles, just the one pin on each side here. You don't have to take the steering wheel out of the car the way a lot of people I've read online. You don't got to do that. Just be careful, obviously, with the back of the wheel that you're not messing up the little fake leather vinyl area there. Make sure that, you know, everything is good to go with that, so that way you're not messing up the finish of your steering wheel when you're removing the paddle or putting in the new paddle with the pin there. I will have driving impressions of these after a little while, once I kind of go ahead and see what they feel like. But they feel just like stock. I mean, obviously, the way the paddles click, it's very similar to stock. You can't really hear it now with the way I'm clicking on it there, but again, they feel really good. I got no complaints at all. I'll have these linked in the description down below. If you do have any questions, or if you do have paddles or pedal extensions in your car, go ahead and let me know. I did want to go for the full replacement rather than the stick-on ones, just because I didn't want to have to deal with worrying about them falling off or rattly fitment, or just not being perfectly centered. There's pretty much only one way to install these paddles the way they fit properly. So with that's going to be me signing off. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to your channel if you have not already. It is the winter year, so it is a little bit difficult to get some impressions on different things I've done on the car. There have been some modifications on this vehicle, but this will be in a future video as far as what's been done in the car. But just kind of a little hint here that these paddles allude to what's been done to the car already. So that's me signing off. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great